Aisha. Welcome back. My name is Aisha. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a ELA teacher. So welcome to Digital ELA Live. I haven't seen you guys in a while because last week Miranda and Alexa did the videos, but it's good to see all of you. I wish I could talk and interact with you, but I can't. So this week's ELA video is not going to be content. It's going to be instead going over the structure of the test itself. So the SHSAT was moved. It used to be set for November 6th and 7th, and it got pushed indefinitely, so we don't actually know when the date is. There are good and bad things, right? So I understand how frustrating it is to prepare for a test without an actual date. I'm a senior, I'm doing my college application test this year, and mine have been pushed back, and I know it's really, really hard to prep without actually knowing when the prepping will end, right? Because as fun as we make our videos, test prep is not that fun, and to have to constantly take time out of your day to do it is not the best. But it being pushed back is actually a good thing in a lot of ways. The first is obvious, it gives you a lot more time to prep, right? A lot of test prep, unfortunately, is practice. We can go over content and grammar a ton, but you get a lot better with practice, and now you have more time for that. Another huge thing is the deadline to register for the SHSAT used to be October 21st. It is not that deadline. The DOE hasn't actually set a deadline yet, so if you aren't sure if you're registered or not, if you haven't registered, now you have the chance to talk to your guidance counselor immediately. The sooner you do it, the better. Guidance counselors are working super, super hard this year, and it can be kind of unmanageable if last minute you ask to register. So after this video, ask your parents, or I don't know, just email your guidance counselor. It could be really, really good. You guys have been prepping for a long time for this test, and we don't want you to miss it. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the actual structure of the test. It's a good idea to write this down. If you don't remember it, we went over it a while ago. So the SHSAT is a 3-hour test. There are no set time blocks, but we really suggest that you use 90 minutes for ELA and 90 minutes for math. If you're a little bit stronger in a subject and feel that you can take 15 minutes away from it and you want to spend more time on, if you're like me, math, that is totally fine. But it's a really good idea for the first time that you do it, just to use 90-90 and then kind of take it from there. Also, because timing is important, if you have a watch that doesn't beep and is not a smartwatch, that is just a good thing to have to kind of keep track of the time. Now, questions 1 through 15 of the ELA section are revising and editing. Those are going to be the grammar questions that you have spent a long time preparing for. Out of those questions, the first 5 are going to be standalone, so that means that they're going to be paragraphs or sentences, and it's going to be individual questions on those. And then the next 10, you're going to have to read a passage and make edits on that passage. Questions 16, that should say 16, questions 16 through 57 are reading comprehension. So those are the passage questions, the ones about detail, inference, etc., etc. If you guys aren't as strong on those, I suggest you watch some old videos, but also just doing practice is good. Some important tips for that are remember to annotate. We taught you guys how to do that both in class and on the videos. Remember to write a main idea. Doesn't have to be perfect. You do not have to write a perfect sentence, but a main idea in general for each passage. There are a lot of questions that relate to the main idea, right? Function kind of relates back to it. Obviously, main idea does. Even sometimes details will ask you, you'll have to choose a detail that best supports the main idea, so you have to know the main idea. So those are 2 really big things. Also, when you're annotating, don't be afraid to underline, circle, whatever, write little symbols, annotate however works for you. You're not being tested on making it pretty, you're just being tested on getting the answers right. So we're going to put the first link in the description is going to be the official SHSAT Handbook. Ignore the dates in the beginning, those are wrong, those were recently changed, but there are 2 full practice tests in there. Between today and next Friday, we want you guys to take practice test A. So that's on pages 42 through 94. Later, we're going to ask you to take practice test B, which is 146 through 99. Now, I know it's a lot of paper, but you don't ignore the test B next week. Just take test A. Just focus on that for now, because now we have more time. It's okay if you don't want to print out the entire thing. If you can print out anything, print out the Scantron. If not, just make yourself a little answer key. Write down some numbers and fill it in as you go. That's totally fine. I do suggest filling in a Scantron if you can, just because that's something that you haven't done before. I don't think any of us have done in a while because we're not doing Scantrons through online school, but it's a good thing to practice. Once you're done, review. There's an answer key in it. You could cheat, but you'd really only be harming yourself. If there are some questions that you get wrong or that you don't know how to fix, the explanation doesn't make sense to you, please email us. This is our email, hsaslot@gmail.com, pretty simple. We We want to go over some questions in the next videos, and we can go based on the questions that we found the hardest. We could go on like question types, but if we have emails from you and we know what you struggled with the most, then we can make you the best content and help you prepare the best. So yes, print the Scantron if you can. And see the passages, these are things I said. Thank you guys for watching. So the first link in the bio is going to be the practice test. We really want you to take practice test A between today and next week. One sitting. Try to do it in one sitting. I know 3 hours is a lot, but if you guys are going to take this test, it's really important that you get some practice actually doing it. Yeah, if you need some grammar review, we're going to have some links in our bio. Remember to annotate the questions, and not the questions. Remember to annotate the passage using whatever method that works for you when you're doing the reading comprehension, and email us when you're done. Practice test A, and don't be discouraged if you guys don't do perfectly or you don't feel like you did well. This is your first practice test in a long time, and what's really important is you get it done. The only way you're going to improve is if you at least do it once now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. You'll see me next week. I won't see you. And please remember to email us. Thank you guys. Bye.